It's the truth, man, the future, you know. It looks like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are back at it, right? This whole situation done sparked off basically over Cardi B's and My The Drama album, right? We know she been the drama. So Cardi B dropped this album. I believe the album is okay or whatever. Cardi B's been promoting this album. I mean, she was in the streets promoting it. It done took what, 7 years to drop this sophomore album. You know what I'm saying? And the album's doing well number-wise, right? This is where the controversy comes in. Cardi B's been trying to beat Nicki Minaj, first week sales, right? I believe Nicki sold like 250K the first week on that Pink Friday album. I mean, that tour did numbers, the Pink Friday 2 tour. Y'all already know Nicki's the best female rapper, right? But Cardi is her arch nemesis. Cardi was supposed to replace Nicki, even though that didn't happen. Now that this album dropped, Cardi B was trying to become the second female rapper to sell 200K copies the first week, right? But she's now being accused of doing things to cheat her way to that, right? They're saying she's letting the album go with a discount, $5 or something, to get fans to buy it. They're saying she's telling fans she'll do a meet and greet, but they gotta buy the album to get the meet and greet, basically finding loopholes to get to the 200K. Now, I'm like, hey, we've heard this with a lot of rappers. Rappers do different things to get different numbers, right? But we still gotta look at the numbers if that's what the numbers say. Cardi B will never be better than Nicki Minaj, right? But if the numbers say, hey, she did 200K, which is wild. She did that. Look, I'm surprised. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of promotion and things behind the scenes. You want to say, oh, she had discounts and she tweaked the system. However you want to put it, that still doesn't change the number, right? But with all that, she still wasn't able to beat Nicki Minaj sales, right? But I believe she did get the 200K to become the second. Well, I don't know if she became the second, but I think she got close or did get the 200K. But like I said, there's controversy that people are like, man, it's fake. The things she was doing, the sales and things like that. I'm like, hey, I get it, right? But at the end of the day, you can take a microscope and do that with every album out, right? These artists do different things to get different numbers, right? These artists tweak different things to get different numbers, right? Why didn't all the other female rappers do that? They still went triple doo-doo, stinky poo-poo, right? City Girls flopped. Ice Spice flopped. Sexy Red flopped. Glow flopped the first time. I don't believe she flopped the second time, but she didn't do these type of numbers, right? And we understand Cardi has a machine behind her, right? Promotion. She has the machine. This is why she can be this relevant and only have 2 albums out, right? This is why She's not even in anybody's top 5 female rappers of all time, but she's the second richest female rapper of all time. She has a machine behind her. Some people can say, hey, she's an industry plant because this is what they're saying. But I'm like, hey, the numbers, what it is, right? So the whole beef sparked up. Y'all know Nicki gonna talk her talk, right? That's your op. Nicki seeing what's going on. Nicki's looking like, hey, Cardi's trying to come for my sales, right? So Nicki basically started making tweets and shit right after Cardi B failed to break her numbers, which I knew wasn't gonna happen. But the fact that Cardi even came close like she did, I believe the first week's sales when I first read it was at 130K, and then all of a sudden they saying it's getting to 200K. Maybe this is what people are saying, like, oh, how you go from 130K all of a sudden your shit about to be at 200K, woo woo woo, right? But her and Nicki been going back and forth, right? The beef done got ignited again. They going back and forth. Cardi B trying to play victim. Why you worried about me? You need to be worried about the people who was out when you was out. And went on to name a bunch of people who ain't in Nicki Minaj's field. You're in her field. You're a rapper, remember? You're her op, remember? That you sparked it off when you got on stage with all those females that was beefing with Nicki. That's really how all that started, right? And then people were saying Cardi B was supposed to replace Nicki. At that time, they were trying to basically replace Nicki, right? Nicki had the female rap game in a chokehold for a decade, and they was trying to replace her with anybody, right? So at that time it was just Nicki. Then Cardi B came on the scene. Mind you, Cardi B came on the scene with the Bodak Yellow, which was a remake of Kodak Black's song, right? Which was written by Partisan Fonte. Think about it. Something that is basically supposed to be a whole freestyle because there wasn't really no hook, right? That Kodak Black song didn't have a hook. It was just supposed to be straight rapping. All Cardi B's hottest, not all, but the majority of her biggest songs was written by Partisan Fonte. Think about it. The Bodak Yellow, the got Cardi B on the map. Kodak Black sample written by Partisan Fonte. The Up joint written by Partisan Fonte. The WAP joint, her biggest, those are her three, matter of fact, those are her 3 biggest songs. WAP, Bodak Yellow, Up was all written by Partisan Fonte. Partisan Fonte was spending so much time with Cardi B writing her song. Offset allegedly beat him up. Partisan Fonte swole for nothing ass got beat up by Offset. The reports came out, Offset pressed him. Didn't like him spending all this time with Cardi B. Put him in a headlock and whipped his ass, right? All of a sudden he stopped working with Cardi B, I believe. And hey, that ass whipping worked out well for Partisan Fonte, because that's when he started working with Meg. I knew something was funny style. I'm like, Meg, Partisan was writing Meg shit too. Because all of a sudden he started working with Meg. Meg started going to the top, right? Even though that WAP song was big, but he probably wrote both their verse on that. Then he started getting with Meg. They was together and all that. That's when Partisan really got introduced to the mainstream without being behind the scenes, right? Because y'all know usually the ghostwriters be behind the scenes, but that's when he got introduced to the world, really, right? But that's how Cardi B career went or whatever, right? Back to the whole Nicki situation. At that time, they was just like, man, whatever. They just started pushing Cardi like, man, Cardi, she the best. She about to replace Nicki. They just giving her everything. Just awards, all the awards. She came out talking about she drug and robbed men and still got Woman of the Year. Ain't that something, right? But it really didn't work out like that. Nicki was still outselling these joints after all these years, and she continues to outsell them even though Cardi B album is doing what it's doing. It still hasn't surpassed Nicki Minaj, and I believe Nicki is still the first female rapper to sell over 200K copies. But Nicki basically said some shit sparking the feud or whatever. Back up. Let me read this article. And look how they start the article. Well, even though Cardi B did respond, but you can tell, you can see the kind of the bias in this from the news.com, right? It said, Cardi B hits back at Nicki Minaj in explosive social media clash. Cardi B accuses Nicki Minaj of personal attacks in ongoing feud. How you can't have an op and then accuse them of personal attacks? What the fuck was that? That's like Rick Ross accusing 50 Cent of personal attacks at this point. Man, I was just minding my business, huh? This nigga 50 keep coming out here, man. I'm just over here trying to relax in my $1 million pool, man. You know when bosses move, how we move in the pools and shit, man. I woke up, lift my head off my $5,000 pillow and shit, man. Look in the mirror and shit, come out there. This nigga 50 talking about me, huh? We just doing what bosses do on this side, man. The fuck, nigga, that's your op. He gonna be on your top when it's time to be on your top. The hell is you talking about? Cardi B and Nicki Minaj long-running feud reignites on social media this Monday with both rap icons. I gotta stop it and I gotta think about that now. I don't know. Nicki's a rap icon. Cardi B is a superstar. That I cannot take away. But I believe it's more of popularity than rap, if you know what I'm saying. Nicki Minaj is a rap superstar, is a rap icon. Rapping wise, lyrics wise, the work she done put in, the albums, the sales, all that. I don't believe Cardi B is a rap icon with album, with sales, with music, with #1 plaque. She's not a rap icon. She's a superstar. She's a superstar because all it takes to be a superstar is to be pushed and be popular, right? Megan Thee Stallion is a superstar. I don't know about an icon. I gotta correct y'all there. I don't. If you want to say she's a celebrity icon, like because she's so famous and known and big, I might take you up on that. A rap icon? I don't know about that. Rap icons are Master P, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Nas, 50 Cent, Eminem, DMX. I believe one day T.I. will be a rap icon. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't already. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you know, you gotta, and he's just now getting to that level, but I believe he's gonna one day be a rap icon, right? But that's who I look at. Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to say D Block as a group, because I don't believe Jadakiss has done enough individually rapping wise to be considered an icon, but I do believe D Block is an iconic rap group, right? Because you could be part of you could be an iconic rap group, but not necessarily be icons individually, right? For example, Bone Thugs and Harmony, as a group, they're icons, right? But individually, maybe it's different. So I'll say the same thing with The Lock. I say the same thing with Dipset. I can say the same thing with the Migos. You see what I'm saying? I believe, you can't just put anybody in the icon status. All right. The conflict was sparked by commentary surrounding Cardi B's latest album, Mind the Drama, which debuted at #1 on Billboard's 200 and achieved double platinum status within the week of release. Okay, let me see why y'all got what Nicki said, what Cardi B said. I'm just going to read how they put it. So they're putting what Cardi B is responding to first. Cardi B said, why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag. It makes sense for me to say what Nicki Minaj said first. Like, why would y'all? All right. Nicki Minaj, 42. First of all, Nicki, 42, still outselling these hoes. Like, seriously, think about it. Name a 42-year-old male rapper who still outsells every other rapper. Name them. Nicki, 42, seemingly took a jab at Cardi B in a tweet that read, never provoke a writer while they're writing emoji. Never provoke a writer while they're writing. And she put the emoji. Accompanied by a teaser for her upcoming album set to release March 27, 2026. She added, let the reindeer games begin, hinting at a impending lyrical showdown. Lyrical showdown? How you gonna have a lyrical showdown with somebody who ain't lyrical? How you gonna have a lyrical showdown with somebody who don't write their own lyrics? You over here battling somebody else writing their lyrics. What type of shit is that? And that's all Nicki had put at first, right? So I believe Cardi was like, why you keep bringing up my album? Because they said you was going to surpass her. It's not the gag that you think it is. Why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is. You've been in the game like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. You see how Cardi B is full of shit? You see how disingenuous she is? You're supposedly one of the top female rappers out. She's a top female rapper. You are her peers. You are her peer. She said compared to your peers around your time, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, and Drake. That's how much like Rihanna's an R&B artist. Beyonce would be her peer. Taylor Swift a whole pop artist. Drake's a male rapper. That's why we be comparing him to Kendrick Lamar. Hence the beef they had. Hence them talking about the big three. Now you don't want the smoke. You don't want to be compared to Nicki, but you want to compare yourself to the other female rappers. You see how that works? You ain't got no problem comparing yourself to JT. You ain't got, matter of fact, you was dissing JT. You ain't got no problem telling them other female rappers they ain't no competition. Ain't that what you said? Cause you know you can't compare to Nicki. Now you want to cry and say, compare yourself to the peers that started around your time. Last time I checked, Michael Jordan and LeBron James ain't play around the same time. But you always hear the LeBron James, Michael Jordan debate. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant debate. I'm just saying. I'm confused. You don't want the smoke? Those are the numbers you need to be competing with. No, she need to be competing with female rappers' numbers. Those are whatever female rappers doing any numbers, that's who we gonna compare her to. That's how that work. Why the fuck is somebody gonna compare Nicki Minaj numbers to Taylor Swift? That's two different genres. Why is somebody gonna be comparing Rihanna's numbers to Nicki Minaj? You should be comparing Rihanna's numbers to Beyonce. That's how that work, Cardi. Nah, don't try to run now. Don't run now. Don't run away. You should be comparing your numbers to Taylor Swift and people who came out when you came out. Numbers ain't based on who came out. Numbers ain't based on that. It doesn't matter about the time you came out. It matters about the numbers. When you become like when Nicki became the first female rapper to do 200K, over 200K the first week, they didn't just put it at one time. They put it as ever. It don't matter at what time. The 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. That's how that work, Cardi B. When an NFL player breaks an NFL record, they don't say, oh, we just going to compare it to the NFL players who came in the league when you came in the league. They don't say that. They say he has the most passing touchdowns in NFL history, meaning at whatever time they comparing it to every time. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you need to be competing with. No, she need to be competing with the bitch talking about these hoes in no competition. I thought these hoes were no competition, Cardi B. Where you competing with, and you can't cause you doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What the fuck is you comparing yourself to me for? Cause you her op and they said you were gonna replace her? Just like the same reason why you compare yourself to JT and all the other female rappers. That reason, Cardi? Nicki do be trolling. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? If Nicki wasn't as great as she was, she won't be able to move the way she moved, right? Nicki's arrogant. Nicki can be mean. Nicki can be... Look, we get it, right? But when you the GOAT, it be like that sometimes. That's how Michael Jordan is, okay? Michael Jordan's mean, okay? And then Nicki posted A, B, C, D, E, F, G falling off the chart with a big belly. Running trains, barefoot, still smelly. Still you could not outsell me. Ah! Girl, Nicki trolling rhymes is better than yours, boy. Nicki trolling rhymes is better than yours, boy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mo. Nicki funny, man. You already know Nicki did not want to see Cardi outsell her. We already know, right? The Bob's like, man, ho. And Cardi was probably doing everything to try to manipulate the situation to outsell Nicki. We get it. And Cardi said, damn, we was screaming magnet hard as hell, huh? Then Cardi said, nah. Cardi said, nah, I was really baking ribs and making blondie brownies, and here come this bitch bothering me on a Monday. Shortly after, she shared a series of now deleted tweets that appeared to mock Cardi B's album pricing and musical content. Oh, don't take it down now, Nicki. Don't take it down now. You jumped out there. She referenced the $4.99 promotion price of I Am the Drama on iTunes and dubbed the pregnant rapper Barney dangerous, criticizing her lyrical abilities and overall presentation. Nicki specifically targeted Cardi B's viral magnet in its opening line, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These bitches can't Mess with me. Okay, that's where I guess Nicki Minaj did that A B C D E F G. Tell that right and tell Jay Z Rico fraud and perjury. Hey Mo, man, they need to stop. And then she went and when she said falling off the chart with a big belly, running trains barefoot, still smelly, still you could not outsell me. Cardi B 32 wasted no time responding with her own diss verse, calling Nicki Minaj Coke Barbie and reworking her magnet lyrics to take aim at her rival on one tweet. A B C D E F G. Your man have to snatch pussy. Pussy tastes like honeycomb. Your bro be touching 12-year-olds. Woo! Hey, I believe that was one of the, I ain't gonna say somebody made a mistake with who they chose and had kids with, but believe if there's a flaw in Nicki's armor that people can attack and they've been attacking was the decision to deal with who she dealt with, right? That nigga, because everybody gonna go to that. In a nudge, she added, damn, she was screaming Magna hard as hell, huh? Addressing Minaj's criticism of her album sales, Cardi B argued that the comparison was unfair. Is not the gag that we already read that. All right, that's basically what's going on with that, man. What I get from this is, number one, the fact that Nicki, jumped out there a little bit on Cardi shows that, Cardi B was doing some numbers a little bit to even catch Nicki's attention. Because if Cardi was flopping, Nicki would have laughed like woo woo, right? But when Nicki seen they was manipulating situations to come for that record of, her being the only female rapper to sell 200K the first week, Nicki was like, whoa, right? And if she got that 200K, maybe she would have passed that 250. But I don't have a problem with Nicki coming out with the tweets because they got a feud, they got their beef. That's your op. If you want to diss her album, you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B, you're not a victim. You don't get to beef with Nicki all these years and then cry, look, why you coming at me and stuff? You need to compare yourself to them other people that came out when you came out, that your age and stuff. Nah. We don't want to hear that. These hoes ain't no competition, remember? You can't be rapping as confident as you rap, Cardi B, talking about bitches ain't competition. And when somebody compared their art to your art, because Nicki was talking music, she was comparing records, she was talking rap. You can't then turn around and be like, why you leave me alone? Why you comparing yourself to me? But I will give Cardi's team kudos for tweaking however they tweaked it, lowering the price. Well, maybe the rest of y'all should do the same thing and y'all might not flop. I'm talking to these female rappers, right? But at the end of the day, Nicki came close, but no cigar. She didn't pass. Cardi came close, but no cigar. She ain't passed Nicki, but hey, Cardi, she did bounce back with the album, even though we already know the back saying writers. She got over 100 writers. She waited 7 years. It's all good, right? I ain't gonna bring all that up because I thought she would have flopped, but hey, they promoted it right. It is what it is. I'm out.